Arsenal are contemplating letting Marquinhos leave on loan in January. According to Standard, Arsenal might let the Brazilian leave in search of consistent minutes. A loan move was discussed in the summer as well, and it remains to be seen with what decision is made with a hectic schedule in the second half of the season for Arsenal. Palmeiras midfielder Danilo, who has been heavily linked to a move to Europe, specifically Arsenal, has denied all the rumors regarding the same. Goal had reported earlier this year that Arsenal had bid £20 million for the player, which was rejected by Palmeiras. However, it is believed that the Gunners are serious in their ambition to chase the player. About going abroad, there is still nothing. As I have always said, I leave it to my agents to sort out. I am still focused on Palmeiras, Danilo told Band Sports in an interview. Fichajes has reported that as Roma have identified Hector Bellerin as a transfer target next summer. The Italian outfit have failed to make an impression in Serie A this summer and could look to rebuild in the upcoming transfer window. Bellerin, who has failed to constantly feature in Barcelona's starting 11, could leave for Roma for minutes. The Spaniard's contract expires at the end of the season and he could switch ships to Italy. According to a report for Le Parisien, Paris Saint-Germain want to sign frustrated Atletico Madrid figure João Felix on a loan deal. Sporting director Luis Campos wants to bring the Portuguese attacker to the French capital in the January transfer window as he feels he could be the perfect foil for Kylian Mbappé up top, who expressed his dissatisfaction at being the number 9, while also relieving some goal-scoring pressure off the famed trident of Mbappé Neymar Messi. According to Todo Fichajes, Ansu Fati's agent Jorge Mendes has offered the Barcelona star to a host of elite clubs across Europe, including Europe. The Barca 10's role so far has been limited to a majority of his appearances off the bench, which could persuade the 20-year-old Spaniard to seek pastures new, not to mention Barcelona's elimination from the group stage of the UEFA Champions League. Spanish newspaper Marca has published that Cristiano Ronaldo could be intrigued to switch from England to France. After failing to make an impression under Ten Hag, the Portuguese striker has been dropped to the bench, and even after being given starts in the domestic league, Ronaldo hasn't quite impressed his Dutch manager. With a move away from the theatre looking inevitable, the striker understands that the door at PSG is open. I see myself playing at the Parc des Princes, in front of 50,000 Portuguese immigrants. It would be fantastic, exclaimed the 37-year-old. Although with Luis Ocampos being at the wheel, a probable transfer is not yet on the cards. According to reports, Manchester United are keen on extending Alejandro Garnacho's tenure at TRHE Theatre. The Argentine forward has been exceptional for the Red Devils in the Europa League. The winger's current contract expires in 2023 and the club don't want to lose such an exciting prospect. The extension is reportedly on the cards and an announcement could be coming in the following days. Journalist Rudy Galletti feels that Manchester United could axe Harry Maguire and Fred at the end of the season. After Erik ten Hag's appointment, the English side has gone a complete rebuild and the duo have been dropped to the bench. Former captain Harry Maguire has failed to make an impact and is on the radar of few Europa League clubs. With Maguire falling down the pecking order under Ten Hag, the English centre-back could switch ships for more minutes. While for Fred, a contract extension looks impossible with Eriksen, Casemiro, and McTominay all given priority over the Brazilian midfielder. Juventus are in the market to add reinforcements in the midfield. According to Sport via Juventus News 24, Bianconeri are once again eyeing Chelsea and Italy star, Jorginho, whose contract is up in the summer. Jorginho is one of the key pieces at Chelsea and Bianconeri will face competition from Barcelona in the pursuit. Sky Sports expert Gianluca Di Marzio has claimed that Juventus have emerged as surprise contenders to sign Nuno Tavares from Arsenal. The Portuguese left-back was loaned to Marseille after he failed to make an impression at Emirates last summer, and now Juventus could sign the 22-year Odell when he returns from his loan stint in France. Currently Juventus deploy Filip Kostic as their left wing-back, but with him 30-year-old, Allegri would need a backup in case Kostic struggles in the future. According to journalist Rudy Galletti, Tottenham Hotspur and Antonio Conte want to bring in a new right-back, reported to be DJ Spence, which could lead to Emerson Royal to pushing for an exit. The 23-year-old is wanted by Atletico Madrid as well, but the Bianconeri are well aware of the player's possible departure, hoping to seize the opportunity and acquire the Brazilian service in case of Juan Cuadrado's farewell. Calciomercato has revealed that Juventus will not allow centre-back Federico Gatti to leave the Italian side. Gatti was purchased this season as a replacement for the departing duo of Chiellini and De Ligt, but Max Allegri has persisted with Bonucci and Bremer as his starters, leaving the former Frosinone player on the bench. A move away from the club on loan in January looked inevitable for the defender, but the Italian outfit have removed all possibilities. The club believes that Gatti is still young and could be a future starter for the old lady. Benfica have stationed a price tag of €100 million for Argentine midfielder Enzo Fernandez, according to Fichajes. The 21-year-old has been tracked by Liverpool for quite a few times now, and if they want his services, they'll have to pay his release clause in full. The Reds have had a persistent midfield problem with their players shrouded with constant injuries. Jurgen Klopp would like to bridge this gap with the signing of Enzo Fernandez, but would know that Manchester United are also fishing for the youngster's signature. Fichajes has reported that Liverpool will have to shell out €7 million a year for the signature of Borussia Dortmund's wonderkid Youssoufa Moukoko. The German starlet is valued at €7 million by Borussia Dortmund after producing some fantastic performances for his parent club. With Moukoko's contract expiring at the end of the summer, Borussia Dortmund would want to cash in from his sale. Currently, the Reds lead the race to sign the forward, but Moukoko is being circled by other European clubs as well. The Daily Star has reported that a new frontrunner has appeared in the race to purchase Liverpool. After FSG put the club on sale last week, a few companies have looked interested in buying the English side. But it looks like Steven Pagliuca and his investment firm Bain Capital could be the new owners of the club. Together their net worth amounts to £119 billion and are only behind Newcastle United's PIF owners, whose net worth stands at £320 billion. Although the amount of wealth Bain Capital would bring to the club will help Liverpool, and considering the size of the club, they'll have more room to maneuver with FFP regulations. Another factor is that the Reds' current owner is quite familiar with Pagliuca and is willing to sell him the club. Borussia Mönchengladbach's Sadio Kone has been identified as a top transfer target for West Ham, according to Sport Bild. The defensive midfielder also provides a goal-scoring thrust and has been watched several times by the Hammers already. Manchester City are going to work on a new deal for 17-year-old academy starlet Rico Lewis in the coming weeks, months, according to Fabrizio Romano. He's exceptional. He's 17 years old. He was perfect against Chelsea. The future will be bright for Rico. I trust him for the future, Guardiola said following Manchester City's 2-0 win over Chelsea in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday night. According to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea wants to sign Denzel Dumfries in the January transfer window. The Inter Milan defender would cost the London club a fees around €30 million, something the Blues are prepared to pay. The reports further states that Dumfries was a target in the previous window as well, but he continued to stay in Italy. With Graham Potter aiming to rebuild his defense, the Dutch defender could be one of the favourites to arrive at Stamford Bridge. Caught Offside has reported that Chelsea is prepared to battle it out with Manchester United for the signature of Jeremy Frimpong. The Dutch defender has been on the Red Devils' wish list, and now the Blues are also targeting the young right-back. With Reece James injured for the World Cup and beyond, Graham Potter needs a solid right-back to bolster his backline. Potter has previously played Sterling and Loftus-Cheek in unfamiliar right-wing back positions, and a player like Frimpong could fit the criteria better than the duo. Give Me Sport has reported that Graham Potter has ruled out a transfer for Armando Broja from Chelsea. Reportedly, the new manager is happy with Broja and wants to keep him at Stamford Bridge. Multiple rumors have linked Broja away from North London, with clubs like AC Milan and Atletico Madrid leading the race. But with Chelsea lacking a backup striker for Aubameyang, a switch for Broja looks impossible.